guys, welcome back to the Lit Sisters. So as you guys may have noticed, we didn't have any videos up last week, and that's because we decided to take the week off for Thanksgiving. We just wanted to focus on spending time with our family and, you know, doing all the crazy holiday things that happened during that week. So that's why we didn't make any videos last week. Anyway, we're back this week. We're back to making videos. I am filming by my tree today because I thought that would be nice and fun to do. And my puppies are running around, so if you hear like growling or barking or something, it's just them. Just ignore them. I even got my Santa hat on because I'm so in the spirit of Christmas. Yay! Okay, anyway, now that it's December, well, tomorrow is December, today's the last day of November, I'm going to do my November wrap-up. I know I said I was going to do winter book talk, and that will be up next week. So anyway, the first book I read all the way through this month was Winter, and it was so good. It's almost 1,000 pages long. It's like 800 some pages, and I read it in like 3 days. My sister read it in 2. We devoured it because we were so anxious to know how this series was going to turn out, and it did not disappoint, let me tell you. I can't really go into summarizing it without spoiling the other books if you haven't read them, so, you know, I'll leave the link to the Goodreads description down below. But yes, Winter was really good. The next book I read I don't currently have with me because my sister's borrowing it, but it was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, and it is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. Again, really liked it. I really prefer Kale to Dorian, so this book really, you know, fed my Team Kale fire. But it doesn't exactly end on a high note for Team Kale. So I don't know what's gonna happen. It ended crazy. I got to the end of the book, I was like, what? I literally couldn't handle it. So I'm super excited to read the next one. Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, really good. The next book I read was Illuminae, and it is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And I have to say, this book was actually really good. When I started reading it, I had a hard time getting into it at first. I didn't get into it until about like 150, 200 pages in. Like, I wasn't not into it, but like that's where it really started to pick up for me. This book is so good, and there's gonna be 2 more in this series, so I'm really excited for those to come out. And not to mention that it was good, it was like fascinating the way it was set up. It's like these black pages are the artificial intelligence system talking, and like they're set up like files, and there's like cool ass pictures throughout the whole thing. Like, it's just really a cool book. And I've heard the audiobook is really cool too. So this is definitely a book I recommend you all check out. I really liked it, and I highly recommend it. Me and my sister both really enjoyed it. By the way, I will be wearing this Santa hat in every single video until Christmas is over. Next, I read FullMetal Alchemist. Now this is volume 4. I've already read this one. But I read volumes 4 through 9 this month, so that's 6 volumes of FullMetal Alchemist. And I mean, that sounds like a lot, but really, if anyone who's read manga knows, it's really easy to fly through these. I finish them in about 30 minutes to an hour, depending. But I'm really enjoying this series so far. I'm super anxious to watch the anime. My sister got me into it. So, yeah. FullMetal Alchemist, volumes 4 through 9. It's really good. If you guys have never read manga before, I recommend reading this one because it's really easy to get into. Like, I'm super attached to the characters, I'm super attached to the story, I'm getting really into it, so I'm really excited to get to the end and see the outcome. So yes, FullMetal Alchemist, whoop whoop! The next book I read was the book that I drew from my TBR jar, and it was Soundless. Now, I ended up really enjoying this book. I loved it. It was so good. It was short. It's only like 250 some pages long. So, I mean, it was really easy. I finished it in a day. It was really easy to read through. The first chapter, I read the first chapter and I was a little worried. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But then the second chapter, like, her love interest came into the picture, and like you started to get more into the story of what all's going on, and it was just so good. It's about this girl who lives in this village on top of a cliff. It's based in Chinese folklore, and no one there can hear. They're all deaf. And then one day, all of a sudden, this girl starts to hear again. And then something happens for their food supply. It's already low. It gets cut even lower. And she's trying to figure out what she can do to save her village and her sister. And she goes on an adventure with this guy, and they try and figure out what the heck's going on. And it was fascinating. Like, it was so interesting, maybe because I've never heard any Chinese folklore, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And if you love a good love story, which I do, I'm a sucker for a good love story. It's so sweet. The love story in here is so sweet. I loved it so much. That's what got me hooked in the first place. And I just love it. It's just such a sweet, pure love. Like, the couple in this is so good. I love it. And the last book I read this month, which I literally finished right before I started filming, was Daughter of Smoke and Bones, and it was so good. It was a lot different than what I thought it would be. I knew it was like an angel demon type of story, sort of thing, or angel devil type of story, and but it ended up being much different than what my head imagined it to be, and I really liked it. I'm excited to read the second one. I'm borrowing this from my sister again. I borrow the Smoke and Bones, she borrows the Throne of Glass. That's how we roll. But yes, this was so good. I got hooked. I finished it. I started it last night and I finished it today. So, you know, what didn't take me long to fly through this one either. And it was like 400 pages. They're not super long, but not short either. But it's easy to fly through. You get sucked in. You kind of want to know what's going on. So it's good. I highly recommend. Alright, you guys, and that is it for my wrap up for the month of November. I read all these books, you know, just add a couple for the FullMetal Alchemist and Crown of Midnight. But other than that, I think I had a really good reading month. I read 6 manga and 5 books, so, and the shortest of which was 250 pages. So, that was a really, really good reading month for me. Anyway, that is all from me, guys. I'm going to upload 2 videos today. I always do this because I just don't want the video to be too long, but I'm going to do my wrap-up, and then the next video you'll get today will be my TBR and new release video. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, happy reading!